Hello everyone, this is Pat
Hi
Nat
guys,
coming
I'm
to
Game
you.
of the Year Reviews.
You just interrupted me. Hello everyone, I am Pat Nat and I am here with a very special guest star, Game of the Year Reviews, and today I'm starting a new series called Zelda Trivia. My first video will be trivia covering The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Wind Waker HD.
I'm pretty excited. I've always loved Wind Waker. It's got a great overworld, great music, and overall, great feel.
I agree, Wind Waker has always been my favorite Zelda game. What mainly sold it for me was the in-depth exploring. Something about sailing the entire ocean makes the game feel so deep. In fact, many believe the game was so deep that developers had to actually remove a dungeon from the game at last second so it would be released on time.
That's right, there is some evidence supporting that theory. After receiving the pearl from the Deku Tree in Wind Waker, you set out to find the next pearl. But instead of finding another dungeon for it, you simply get a bomb bag and blow up a rock on the back of Outside Island.
And there you will find Jaboon, the water spirit. While you'd think there'd be some challenge or something to get the pearl, he simply gives it to you. In the next dungeon, the Tower of Gods, the boss you will face is called Godin. To defeat the boss, not only do you need arrows, but bombs as well.
Perhaps in the water dungeon you were supposed to receive a bomb bag, but the dungeon was removed. They might have used some quick thinking and morphed the two boss fights into one. Also, according to Did You Know Gaming, there's an unused sound at the code of the game. The sound appears to be Jaboon crying in agony.
As stated in the Hyrule Historia, Jaboon is a descendant from Jabu Jabu from Ocarina of Time. In Ocarina of Time, you must go inside of Jabu Jabu to face the next dungeon. It is possible and not that unlikely that Jaboon has the same problem as Jabu Jabu. Ganondorf put a curse on Jabu Jabu, and there actually was a curse in Wind Waker about the same time you encounter Jaboon.
In Wind Waker, you learn a song called Ballad of Gales. The Ballad of Gales can warp you across the sea. You can warp to the first two dungeons, but you can also warp to the Great Fish Isle, Jaboon's island. If you put all this evidence together, you get an interesting theory on what their water temple was like before they got rid of it. When Link reaches Great Fish Isle, he finds Jaboon wailing in pain. In order to save him, Link must go inside of Jaboon and face the dungeon. While in the dungeon, Link gets a bomb bag and uses bombs to defeat the boss. After that, Jaboon gives him the third pearl. We will never know how much of this is true, but it does seem like a likely theory.
There's a little more evidence to the Lost Dungeon, though. If you enter Tetra's room on the pirate ship, you'll find this painting. This painting shows the Triforce over a sea chart. The outer corners lead to 3 islands, Dragon Roost Island, Forest Haven, and Great Fish Isle. 2 islands with temples on them, and the island that could be for the Lost Dungeon. This whole theory makes so much sense, I actually believe it.
But we can't stay on the same topic forever, so let's take a look at some more trivia in Wind Waker, like the Nintendo Gallery. On the wall you will see the Bunny Hood, All Night Mask, Goron Mask, and Keaton Mask from Majora's Mask.
That's not the only reference to Majora's Mask, though. In Forsaken Fortress, you have to fight Phantom Ganon. Phantom Ganon has appeared in a number of Zelda games, but this time there's a text in Hylian script on his sword reading, Sabora Gabora. Sabora and Gabora are 2 blacksmiths found in Majora's Mask.
Going back to the Nintendo Gallery, there's more than just masks. Just under them, there's a Lon Lon Ranch logo from Ocarina of Time. There are also stained glass windows in Hyrule Castle of the 6 sages from Ocarina of Time. Now that I think about it, there are even more references to Ocarina of Time.
That's right, there's actually a mailman in Wind Waker whose face looks like a complete replica of the mailman from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. A lot of the music in Wind Waker is actually remade from previous games. The one that is most noticeable is the portal music after you defeat a boss in Wind Waker. It's the exact same tune as Final Hours from Majora's Mask.
There's actually some more trivia worth mentioning about the music. The title music will start as the same tune as the Earth God's lyric, but will eventually change into the Wind God's aria. There's little left to cover about our Wind Waker trivia video, but before we finish, we should mention some of the little things, like the picture Nintendo released as a sneak peek for Wind Waker HD.
This picture shows Link, Tetra, and Sue Bell all standing together on Windfall Island. Nintendo was probably testing out the HD features with different characters with different heights and different locations.
In Wind Waker, Link often yells, "Come on!" This marked the first canon Zelda game where Link actually speaks.
This theory is a little far-fetched, but some believe that Professor Egad is a cameo as a pirate in Wind Waker.
If you slow down and rewind the sound the choo-choos makes, and then translate it to English, it will sound like 2 men saying, "At least I'm not balding like you are." Going around like that, people will think you are a monster.
Before you defeat Ganon in Wind Waker, he starts mentioning the desert and that he misses it so much, in the desert's winds of death. After Ganondorf is defeated, he says he feels the wind. Was it the wind from the Wind Waker that he felt? Or was it the winds of death?
There's concept art showing that they were about to make a GameCube island. They later took the idea and used it for Phantom Hourglass to make a Nintendo DS island.
Well, that's all the trivia we have for today, but make sure you subscribe to see more trivia
That's right, you
coming
can check
soon.
out my channel where I do video
Seriously.
game reviews, top 10s, and even starting a Mega Man X Let's Play. 100%.
Stop cutting me off. Also, check out my group channel. All links and get-ons in description. See you next time on Fast.
So long, everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna hurt someone if I get interrupted.